just like me. So if I have certain traits that I practice, is it that I'm going to let the child practice these traits, or the child will see me and learn what I'm doing and be like, this is how someone is supposed to operate, you know?
Yeah. Well, since we've officially started, let me officially say it's good to see your official face.
That's weird.
And but you're
Yeah,
accustomed to that.
yeah, pretty
Um
much.
and just in response to that, I think it's pretty tough for parents. I know you're gonna be one day, so I guess it will be tough for you. I think it's pretty tough for parents. And I heard somebody say this on a podcast once. A lady was saying she got married, an older lady, not older, but she got married like maybe in her 40s or whatever.
Hmm.
And she got married, her husband was a little bit older than she is. And she was talking about, I don't want this is just in response to what you said, not to
Yeah,
try to
no,
take
no,
the
no
whole.
problem. No, no, no problem.
So she was saying that a lot of people, and I've faced this personally, a lot of people, and I've also asked my partner when we just maybe like within 6 months of meeting or dating or whatever it was,
Hmm.
if he thought less of me. Like I asked him explicitly, does some part of you respect me less because I am not a biological mother? Right? It's not that he said something or indicated. It's just based on what society is, based on the questions I get.
Yeah,
Um, I just thought, let me ask him. Let's put the things on the table. Not that we've put everything on the table, but so far, this is one of the ones.
yeah,
And he said no.
yeah.
First, he said, "Why would you ask that?" And I
That,
explained
that, that,
myself.
genuinely, that's what I thought when you
I
said the
explained
question.
myself, but
But I get you.
men and women face different things in this life, to be
Yeah,
honest,
that's true. That's
right?
true.
And it is. I've heard many women, especially public women,
Hmm.
speak because they have a public platform. Speak about how people act when them say, "Oh, breed it," or I get a man a pick
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
like hold the man, some
Yeah.
stupidness. I
No,
don't
I
know.
mean, I mean, I think everyone gets it because to be honest, I have a group of friends that I speak to, and like every Father's Day, them talk about who's
Oh,
coming
oh,
off the gelding truck and stuff like that.
yeah. So
I broke
there's
your ducks and them thing there. So yeah.
But
Mhm.
honestly, I mean, and this may be biased because I'm a woman, I feel like women face it
No,
more
no, yeah, no,
than
it's different.
men.
No, no, men, it will be. The thing is, women get it in a serious manner more often.
Like something wrong with
Like
me.
exactly, they'll be like, yo,
Something.
why never you it, or something like that. But the man them will
If you're a
joke and
mule, are you a mule? We can't
exactly them
breed.
type of thing there. No, them type of thing
Wow.
there. But then with a guy, they'll be like, Bridget, where you going with, man? Say you have to drop your seeds.
Yeah.
It's more comedic, I guess would say. It's more in a comedic manner versus a
Per
female. It's like something's wrong with you. Why is this
yeah.
not
Yes.
happened as yet?
This is
Yeah.
that's an essential step in your life that you need to
Yeah,
accomplish to self
exactly.
actualize. So
Milestone.
yes. So I asked him this question. Of course he said no. Then I
Yeah.
asked another friend, separate. This friend and I were not in a relationship. He's just, well, he
Yeah,
has
just
passed on now.
opinion.
Yeah, he has passed on. I talk about him every now and then, Andrew.
Oh,
And
okay. Okay,
and
yeah.
Andrew,
Mhm.
of course, Andrew was crippled from the waist down. So needless to
Yeah.
say, he had nowhere going. We spent a lot of time on the phone. He would get that joke,
Yo,
by the way.
yo, you
Andrew would get
shouldn't.
that joke.
Yo.
Andrew would get
I'm trying not to laugh.
it. He was pretty stable most of the times, okay?
I got you. I
Uh,
got you. I got you.
and Andrew and I would be on the phone, and we talk about many topics.
Yeah.
Andrew was probably very, in my opinion, very smart. He had met a whole lot of people, and he said he played on it too because there's some people who would meet him who would
Hmm.
immediately empathize. Oh my gosh, you can't walk. You must be so sad. He was living his best life ever. He was just getting pum pum all the time from girls. He's just like, Stacy, it's really not that bad over here. They don't know. I just lean into the breast. They're like, oh, come cuddle.
I
And he's
just
like, okay, fine, let's go. You know,
This is not supposed to be this funny. But
this
no, I
nigga,
get
he
you.
was
I
living
get
his
you.
best.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
kid you not.
yeah, yeah.
I couldn't. I think
Hmm.
I was a good friend to him and he was a good friend to me because it was the strangest thing that in my mind initially
Hmm.
he had faced such adversity
Yeah.
because he was crippled before 22. And I'm being gracious with that number, right?
Yeah.
But he was living his like it hasn't stopped him from doing it didn't stop him from doing anything. So anyway, so because of that, we would
Mm-hmm.
talk about a whole lot of things because the truth is that he had a kind of perspective that you'd be like, oh, wow, I never, crippleness equal, is that a word, crippleness? I don't know. But
Listen,
you're
we're going with
crippled,
it.
you're crippled that it equals to more pum pum. I
Like
never saw that coming.
limited mobility,
Yes,
something of a
some
sort.
things are not limited. So,
Yeah.
well, I don't know. I asked him about that once, but let's not go there. Let us try and stay focused. I'm trying to get to the point of parenting, right? Let's stay
Wow.
focused.
Wow.
Stay focused, my nigga.
The
Stay
topic
focused.
is parenting. Look where
I'm
we
answering
are.
your question, what we started out
Okay,
talking
okay,
about,
okay,
and then
okay,
we go
okay,
into
okay,
the
okay.
official.
Yeah.
So, he had an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
And, I was like, a lot of the people that would approach me talk about, you have to have a picnic or want move to when they get in a old age and who can take care of you. And he made very, very valid points about how many people were sitting in Florida in golden age homes who hadn't had visits from their biological children
And
in
probably have like
weeks.
five pitney. Exactly, like
Yeah,
probably
and,
have
and,
five pitney,
and
not just
months.
one.
And I guess we would have gone through the list of things that
Mm-hmm.
people say, not like a checklist, but just talking, and it kind of
Mm-hmm.
eliminated and made me realize that some of the things were stupidness. So fast forward now, cleared it with
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, asked the guy I'm dating, and
Mm-hmm.
then are we still dating? Okay,
Shut up.
I'm in a partnership. That's what it is.
Yeah. He just extra.
Dating
But
is when
anyway.
it's fresh,
Ah,
but
fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I get you. I
like,
get you. I get what you mean. I get what you mean. It's more
yeah,
solid now. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not courting multiple. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, we're gonna try this.
This is all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um.
So yeah, you say you asked the guy
So
no.
so
Mm-hmm.
I asked him. He cleared it. He's like, no, and
Mm-hmm.
he did admit that no, because maybe sometimes with parents, even in their best effort,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sometimes the characteristics or the integrity level of the child may be a
Yeah.
little bit different from what you would hope
Wanted
it
or
to be.
yeah.
Yeah, despite pouring in your best eggs. And admittedly so, he would have said, I would have spoken about all the eggs I've poured into the basket. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right off the bat, a lot of parents would come off saying, things that they impart on the child. But then
Yeah.
as a child grows, you're like, oops, I guess this lesson didn't stick. So I was listening to the podcast afterwards, and the lady was saying her husband has a child. This is her stepchild now. And she was saying before she felt odd not having a child, but then
Mm-hmm.
now she says sometimes and this is very ironic, hopefully you don't get backlash for this, but she says
No, tell me.
sometimes she empathizes or sympathizes with parents because she says if her alarm for bedtime goes off at 10, or if your alarm goes off a sleep mode or do not disturb, whatever it is, like our
Mm-hmm.
awesome Google phones does that,
Yeah, the
then
bedtime mode or something. Yeah.
yeah, then she goes to sleep. She says, I go to sleep. Versus my husband, who is up till 2 a.m. because he does not know where is his daughter. It's not to say she doesn't care about
Yeah,
her
yeah, yeah, yeah,
stepchild,
yeah, yeah,
but the
yeah, yeah.
impact is definitely different.
Really
So I'm
different. Yeah.
saying all of that to say it's no easy feat. I would imagine having your whole chest just
Tight.
my niece spends 2 weeks with me, 2 to 3 weeks
Mm-hmm.
with me, and I do not rest in that 2 to 3 weeks. I'm like, if she's awake, I cannot sleep.
Yeah.
If I want to see her all the time, and of course I trust the people who are around me taking care of
Yeah.
her, but still I want to make sure. So did she eat all the food? Did she this? Did she that? And it was even one day where, yeah, I was visibly tired, and he said to me, "Get some rest." And although my eyes were closed, it's like my mind just kept on going.
Yeah.
So Godspeed to you and all the parents out there. I wish you all the very best. As we've said, sometimes you pour everything in and you talk about everything you've poured into to these children, and then it doesn't really
Yeah.
work out
Materialize.
100 at,
Yeah.
at,
Yeah.
at, at, at a specific time. I'm just putting that disclaimer out there to say it's not to say that if you
No,
don't say something now, it
no,
can't
which is
come
true, which
next
is
year.
true. which is
Yeah.
true. So from my part, well, welcome back to another episode of The Outsiders. I'm Jerome, and I'm here talking with Stacy this week or this specific episode. Yeah, so we were just talking about parenting, and I guess we'll continue from there. Um, my perspective, though, is that it really depends because in my household, three boys, right? Three boys, and the three of us are different people. The three of
Yes.
us have
I see that.
different things that we not stand for, but things that we practice. Like for me, growing up, genuinely, my mom would be like, "Yo, wash the dishes, wash the dishes," and I know this is like not, not like necessarily a value, but like for me, no, there are certain chores that I do with peace. Like I can't leave the dishes in the sink overnight.
Mm-hmm.
I like to iron and stuff like that. I would like to believe that that was part of what my mom and dad implemented in me. But then my brothers, at least one of them, I know for sure, does none
It's
of
not
them.
a thing. It's not a thing.
Exactly. It doesn't
Uh,
even exist. So it's like, what's the thing that makes it connect? And the truth is, I feel like, yeah, as much as people can be like, yeah, you don't grow your child good or whatever it is, it's like sometimes your child is just who they are.
yeah. Yeah.
No,
No.
no, no one has twins, and they could look identical, but they won't be the same person. You know, there's so many factors into what makes a child a child. Like
Yeah.
you can have twins and one experience at school, one experience on the playground, one experience at the, I don't know, while watching a specific show. We can both it and I think it shows the beauty of being a human being because you and I can watch the same movie and come away with two different conclusions. So it's like that the power of perspective sometimes. And I know sometimes I'll say some things which I think it's, as you said, it's maybe society that influence this thing where I would want to say, yeah, because him never grow the child good or something like that. But it's
Yeah. But
really
yeah, agreed.
the,
And I see it a lot. I see it a lot with my niece. My niece is will be 2 in November.
Mhm.
And just her personality, you're like, no, I worry that she would be kidnapped one day. She's the friendliest child on earth. Like,
So
she just a go to everybody. Like,
no,
what's
but the
going
thing,
on
but
here?
the thing is, I kind of get that from the mom. And once again, I'm doing the
Really?
thing. What do you mean?
No.
No, the
I
mom,
know her mom very well.
yeah, but I think over time the mom became more sociable, like a bit more, not with every single person on earth, which the child might not have that marker to control it. But yeah, the mom seems a bit like an open-minded person. So, think positive about the person first. And I was actually going to use that to say, yo, it's funny because the two of you guys are different in that way. Because I think you're more attractive when you meet somebody new. And I feel like she might be more open when she meets somebody new.
I don't know. Even if there are some, I don't know if you're contradicting your own point because
No, no,
even
I
if there
know
are
I am.
some,
No, I am.
right?
I am. I am. I know I am. But it's just that, as I said, it's just this thought that you have from maybe society creating it
Yeah,
in your
I
head or
I do
something.
think that there are some maybe some shared traits. But Milani is, she says when she sees you, she says hi in a very high pitch. She's what
But
like
but
who?
does she do it to, like, if I came, she would say that?
No,
Because
she
that's the
probably
thing.
wouldn't. But
That's
she
what I'm
wouldn't.
saying.
She wouldn't shun you though. I'm just saying it's interesting that she has. She's at preschool or whatever they call it. I don't know. I don't know
Mm.
why they create these things.
It's not kindergarten.
It's not kindergarten.
I've lost it. I've lost
Yeah,
it.
as she goes to this place and she's like feeding the children. She's just like eat, just like the ones that are
What?
not. She's just like you have to eat your. I don't.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I listen. So
I'm trying to understand what you actually mean.
I'm saying that I
She's
don't
like,
know how God work it out.
yeah.
How does it happen? Is it I don't know the science of it. Maybe if there was a doctor on the line, is it that they're
Yeah.
hearing some music? Is it I don't know what it is, but they're born with a personality. There may be some
Yeah.
similar traits, but
But it's not the
it's
whole person. It's not the
I
whole
can
person.
definitely tell you for my partner and his biological
Yeah,
children. It's not.
yeah.
It's
Doesn't
and
transfer.
yeah, and he may pride himself on what he did, but then it doesn't always transfer. And again, it doesn't mean that it will never transfer. It just means that
That's probably a next
yeah,
part. That's probably a
yeah, yeah,
next part, which is over time. Because I mean, me, as I said, once again, very minuscule example, but me going to me loving to wash the dishes, or not loving, but something that I would say, yo, I need to do if I see dishes in the sink.
mm-hmm,
And I also love the process of putting them away. If I probably was still home, no, that's a lie. But ever since I left my home the first time,
mm-hmm,
I think ever since then, it's like I want the space to be similar. And my mom is not here to do it. So
mm-hmm.
therefore,
You
someone has to
create,
do it. Exactly.
yeah,
So then I think over time I became, so you're right. Some of it might not pass on, but then some of it might just be like, yeah, I have a flatmate now. This flatmate is not responsible. And therefore I have to keep my things in certain places. I would never have her touch stuff. You know what I mean? Things like
yeah,
that. So
and also you have a flatmate. That's interesting. Also, um, some of the things we do to preserve, as you have said, you alluded to it. I don't know that you said it explicitly, but some of the things we do to to preserve culture and heritage. Um,
Yeah,
so my aunt in the U.S. will always try to have ginger tea. There's an affinity for ginger tea because if she feel bad,
it
it's
fixes
just a
fix
ginger tea.
everything.
That's
Yeah.
the answer to everything
Uh,
in this
uh,
life.
uh.
Um, she offers me ginger tea and I don't take it, but if you come to my house, you will always see cinnamon crackers,
Oh,
tough crackers. So
yo,
so it's
yo,
different. She doesn't
I
have the
miss that
crackers
still.
though. She
I
doesn't have
miss
crackers.
that.
I'm just saying,
Yeah, but I miss that. I miss the cinnamon
yeah,
crackers. That would
yeah,
be mad, like when you make it soak in a minty. It's been a
yeah.
while. It's been
Or
a
some
while.
people the chocolate tea, I mean now I live in Jamaica, but when I didn't live in Jamaica, that would be
Hmm.
something I'd go out of my way to go to the Caribbean store to get
Yeah, yeah,
cinnamon
yeah, yeah.
crackers. And
Yeah,
then when it's Easter time, I'll go and buy a bun. Probably not 10 bun, but at least one.
yeah, at least
So
one. I get that.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
think, yeah, last year I actually had bun. Yeah.
Okay, you made
Um.
it or you bought it?
No, 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 no. I mean,
Because I know
well,
you've just been making everything in life
fair
now.
enough, fair enough. I mean, I think I'm even more excited about doing these things now. But no, I think it was from the UK, because the UK has the Jamaican products, and so Jamaica, a lot of immigrants from the Caribbean and stuff. So I
Mm,
was able to get that in. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Overall, I think I see what you're saying, and it's just an interesting dynamic how this can work in life in general.
yeah,
It's like we really have no control over some things.
yeah, yeah. Despite our consistent
Yeah,
effort, input or effort, sometimes the thing just blossoms the way it wants to blossoms, and I just did that.
and I think that goes into a thought I've been having recently.
Mm-hmm.
This generation of certain advice that people gives people, professionals, and I'm talking like even self-help or do this for the best health and stuff like that. And when I think about what the process of researching is, it's really a generalization. So
Mm-hmm.
when someone comes and tell you, hey, don't eat after 6 if you want to lose weight, right? There are people who exist that after 6 they eat and they still lose weight. Those people
Agreed.
exist.
Agreed.
Exactly. So this is like, yeah, maybe one in every 8, fine. How do you know if you're that one in every 8? you
Mm-hmm.
know so whenever someone does a research, it's not like, yo, this is a fact that we can say yes, it's a high percentage, but it's not a fixed thing. So you find people being like, yeah, you have to take creatine, or eat 40 grams of protein every day. No, some people eat 40 grams of protein and probably can't get off the toilet or something, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it does to them. So it's like, yeah, most people it works fine. Sometimes I think we have to realize that there are two things that I took from it, is that either one, some of us are really special, you know, and then some of us are just normal like everyone else. But in each thing, like I feel like we have our things that we know, and sometimes, as some medical guy was saying on a podcast once is like, yo, sometimes our body knows. Our body knows when it needs something, you know. And if you feel for certain foods or feel for a certain, I don't know, meal, or you feel like your body tell you, hey, go run. Because he was talking and he was like, yo, I'm fit. I look fit. But people assume that every day I'm in the gym or I go to the gym for 2 hours and I'm pumping iron. And he's like, no, sometimes I take 3 days off from the gym, you know, because I'm human. My body can't keep running like that, you know?
Hmm.
So sometimes you just need to sit back and pay attention to your body. That's what I really think, you know.
Yeah, so does that therefore mean or imply that life is just a or one there's no set definition, I think, but one
Yeah.
way to interpret it is that it is just an ongoing research,
Yeah, I like that.
ongoing
And
study on
and
yourself. I don't
on
mean of the
yourself.
world. I
Exactly,
mean you can
exactly,
study the
exactly.
world if you want to, but
Yeah.
I mean specifically yourself. What
No, I
am I
like
like?
that. Yeah.
Because like if you just think of the how one human being evolves, and of course I am not a doctor,
Oh,
right?
I
I'm
thought
a,
you were about to I thought you were about to be like, I am a human being. I was like, ah,
no,
that's
no,
good
no.
to
I'm
know.
just
No,
putting it
no.
out there in case there's somebody who's going to listen to say, but what gives her the moral, what gives her the academic background?
Nothing that, to be
Not
honest,
trying to say, this is
maybe
just
I should start
literally
putting a
my
disclaimer.
perspective. Yeah,
This is the reason why I call it the outsiders. It's like people who are not in it or in the know or whatever it is. I'm not saying that we're dumb, but it's our opinion on things that we share, and it's not
right,
something that it's like, yo, I've studied that when a dad says to his
right.
child, you should wash the dishes, that makes a child love watching the dishes for the rest of their
Yeah,
life. No.
right. So just put
Yeah.
it, because, the internet has some people that will just, you know, I don't
Yeah.
think you have come across any as yet, so that's good.
Yeah.
But,
I keep my
um,
circle small so far. So
okay,
this is more of an exclusive group. I'm kidding, but yeah.
look at you. But I just mean, if you even think about, I've been listening, well, the things that you see on your Instagram feed, but
The algorithm.
yeah, I sometimes you click on one thing by accident, like you're not sure what it is, and then
Hmm.
you get
Yeah, just
10
out of
videos.
curiosity,
It's just
exactly.
like you're like, this is what I'm about now. But anyway, so there has been a lot of open and frank discussion about menopause.
Yeah, it's
Women,
growing.
the
Hmm.
perimenopause group.
Yeah, yeah,
I've learned a lot about it. Not to say that I even was researching this,
yeah.
but I was curious about something I heard Oprah
Hmm.
said, and then no, all and a lot more women are speaking out about it,
Yeah,
and the different changes they go through. So just thinking about that, I am not
yeah,
at that stage yet personally, but just
yeah,
thinking about that when that time comes, then now you have to. Women talk about different things, their skin changing. You know, I heard one funny person's well, the person was just making a joke to say, when you think about menopause, all you heard back in the day was drive vagina, drive vagina, drive vagina, drive vagina.
yeah.
That's the. But then, as more women are talking about it, you're realizing that there are
And
so
no,
many other
and this
things.
is what I'm
Like
trying
this
to
is
say
just
about
one thing
research.
that people used to talk about. Like,
No, and that's what I'm saying about research. It's like one of those things where it's like, yo, someone come definitively say, hey, when that happened to you, Pums, say that reach, and you'd be like, which even interestingly, as you said, it's not menopause when you go through it. Menopause is a day it switches from whichever pause to peripause or so. I remember listening to something else that also says it, and for me, it's like it's kind of crazy that someone and I think my partner actually pointed out to me that some of these researches, especially on women, was not done until maybe the last 15 years.
hmm,
So people having things that they have fixed is very much from the perspective of the masculine sometimes. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, I agreed, because even that lady that was making the point about not knowing a lot about it, all the people kept on talking about was dry
Hmm.
vagina. And then
Hmm.
somebody rebutted to say, and to think, like after she finished, they said, and to think, all we got to do is go to a doctor and get an estrogen shot now, and we're good to go. So it's like, I take your partner's point where whomever
Yeah.
came up with this research,
Research, yeah.
who it's a who and when.
Yeah,
and what was studied or who was studied and how were they
exactly.
studied, because with technology, with science now, then
Hmm.
you can get a shot. I don't know how it works, but I'm sure
Yeah.
there
Certain
are
things I can
things,
control it now. Exactly.
yeah, doctors can do to increase or improve, or even to stop feeling certain kinds of pains, whatever it is,
Yeah, yeah,
so so I can lean into the fact that it's an ongoing research, because if it as just a woman, your body
yeah,
will go through, you will go from 1 to 12 or 1 to 13, and then you
yeah.
have
Hmm.
this thing, a menstrual cycle that starts,
Yeah.
and then it stops, and then it may affect you this way when you're 19, different from when you're
Man, that's kind
22.
of mad when you think
So
about
it
it,
has to be an
Yeah.
ongoing learning of yourself, and of course, I'm just using one simple example, but it can be applied to what you said about, like, when is the best time to work out, what's the
Yeah.
best way to lose weight, all of
Mm-hmm.
that, and you just realize, say, you have to be your greatest researcher for yourself,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
literally that's the only way
Yeah.
you'll probably win.
Mm-hmm. And that's, yeah, exactly, because even from the perspective of even the whole hype about diets, I think that's also something that made me think about it, because this the same guy I was listening to, he was saying like everybody's doing the carnivore diet, right? Well, not everybody. There are people who are doing it and they're like, these are the benefits. I lose weight. I don't feel hungry. I don't feel tired. Da, da, da. And then the guy just basically says, you know what happened? You basically stop eating everything else, which would be probably processed foods. So it's
Hmm.
like, it's more of not eating only meat, but taking out some things that it eliminate and realize, oh, my body reacted to this. And maybe the carnivore works for you, or maybe it's just that, okay, take sugar out, take processed food out, and of course, heavily processed, because you can't just say processed now, because everything is processed. No, because you
Fair
know,
enough.
no, because they say like, if you fry a chicken, that's processed. The chicken is processed because it went through a process. you
Okay.
know I mean,
So,
that's a science. I'm
but
not, once
hey,
again, we're not
I'm not an
we're not
expert, so hey, I
exactly,
can.
we're no experts here, you know but no, for me, that's just something. When I think about it, like, someone would be like, yeah, I'm just going to go on the vegan diet, and I'm going to
Mhm.
eat whatever it is, and then that person probably gains weight, because you know what, Oreos are vegan, but they're like, yeah, I'm eating something vegan, and that person gain weight, and then the person does the carnivore diet and loses weight, feel good, and they're like, oh, that means the carnivore is the right one. And then it's like, no, not necessarily, but it's just that you were eating something that's classified as vegan, but has millions of processed sugars and certain fats in it that aren't good for the body, you
Yeah.
know?
I'm also wondering if your body also goes through cycles.
I think so
And
too.
and maybe I
100%.
mean maybe I'm not even gonna ask it properly, and clearly you are definitely not qualified to answer this. So what, I guess that's why we're on the outside. Um
I
and I I,
like
I,
that.
I wondered about it because last year summer
Hmm.
I did a diet that
Hmm.
worked very well.
Hmm.
And
Mind sharing which kind of diet it was? It was the intermittent.
I did intermittent, and oh, I can't remember her name. It's Dr. Mindy. I don't remember. There's this doctor on YouTube that I follow as well.
Mhm, mhm.
And she talked about like the 24-hour diet or 36-hour diet,
Ah, I remember you were doing that. Yeah, I remember you were doing
fasting
that for
periods,
sure.
to put your body in, and
The
um,
ketosis when it, yeah.
right.
Mhm.
And I did it. I would say it worked.
Yeah.
I would say it worked. And I, since recently, I was thinking to try it again. And it has been the hardest thing to try and go through the entire day
Mm.
without any. And I'm like, I'm literally wondering, what's happening? You did this last year. What's the big deal now? Why can't you do it?
So
I
hold
don't
on,
know.
just quick. What's the difference? Like, is it that when you go, I don't know, 20 hours now, it's like, I'm dying, I can't focus, brain fog. And then last year it was just like 24 hours and you were like, yeah, I'm excited, let's keep going.
Last year I was doing 36 hours. So I was going to
Mental.
Yeah, I
Wow.
was doing 36 hours once per week. I do know she gives some disclaimer, like she said, try not to do it the week before your cycle. So again,
Oh
that
yeah,
is
yeah.
about
They
a
don't,
woman.
exactly. Those are another exactly. That's another
Yeah.
thing for sure. Yeah.
But no, at whatever time. I don't know. To be fair, when I did it last year, I was in a different environment, meaning even just the temperature was different. I wasn't
Yeah.
trying to get a bottle of water every 5 minutes. You
Yeah.
know, I
Yeah.
didn't feel like, like, oh my gosh, I just want to lie down in front of the fan kind of thing. I
Yeah.
don't know if
Yeah.
that made a difference. I really, really don't know.
I mean,
Um,
and we know that sometimes depending, like I've experienced where in winter I find I do what the bears do, which is more or less eat and hibernate. So I gain more weight during the winter versus
mhm.
like when it's hot, hot, hot. It's like, yeah, I don't because my body is natural. Well, the temperature is also helping my body to burn. I'm sweating. Whatever it is. So I get that part playing in it, but I think, you should still be able to push the 36 hours. So it's mental, a day and a half of not eating anything, just water and tea without sugar, right? Wow.
Correct. Just water, tea without sugar, which I do so often. I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
every day, so it's
To be
normal.
honest, let me just say this now.
Normal.
Well, you know it. I think you put me onto that.
Yeah,
It's
I
either
know.
you or my mom. I think my mom too. You
Yeah.
or my mom.
So I
You
do
probably.
flavored
Mhm.
teas as well. I do
Yeah,
flavored teas as well. It's not always just like peppermint or just,
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll see. Or we are a unique breed, not just women, men,
Yeah, yeah,
humans. So
yeah.
I guess and I guess it goes without saying there's always a study. There's a study.
Nah, no,
Always a study about us. We're so fascinating.
yeah,
There's just always a
no, that's what I'm
study.
saying. I,
Non-stop.
I, I love the fact that we do always do it because being curious is one amazing thing. Being constantly curious is beautiful, but
Hmm.
sometimes when someone decides to live by it, like someone, I don't necessarily think someone in Sweden can necessarily live like the people who live along the, what do you call it again? the the green belt or the blue belt or something like that. The people
Hmm.
who live the longest, those people who have a long life expectancy,
Hmm.
because they eat, I don't know, just rice or something like that. Like if look at even rice. Rice is something like, they literally make rice seem like it's the worst thing.
Yeah.
Victimized rice, white.
Victimized
No,
rice.
no, it's true because you can't eat white rice. But in the Asian community they eat so much white rice and they are doing fine. They eat rice for breakfast, lunch, and
Yeah.
dinner, and they look fine. They don't have the obesity issues. They can put on, they can lose weight whichever way they want. And then
Yeah.
everyone's like, eat brown rice. And then you hear that brown rice, no, because it has not fully germinated as yet. It hasn't has some phytocousin or whatever they want to call them, phytocene, some other thing inside it. And I'm like, yeah, if I follow these people, I don't eat.
Don't eat anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. For me too, I know. For me, I will have to see I'd have to study myself more, particularly with particular focus on motivation. Like I'm trying to find what is it that made it seem so seamless. Not
Last
that it
time.
didn't take any effort, I'm not saying it didn't
Mhm.
take any effort, but I was just like doing it and doing it and doing it. And now it is hard.
So with that being said, like I wanted to ask, like, is it something, so you said, like, would you say that it was probably excitement?
For what?
So it was new to you. It was new to you the first time you were doing the 36 hours. It was something that you like, you know what? And there's something that happens when you pass, I think, the 12 hour, the 14-hour mark of not eating, that you feel like, I'm not hungry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's
Like,
a part where you feel like you're dying, and then there's a part you feel like you're thriving.
exactly. So to
Mhm.
know for you, when you try to do it, how long, or at which point you feel like You might have to eat something now.
I don't know that I've mapped it out. I know a part of me feels so there's one varying factor. So last year when I
Mm-hmm.
was doing it, I was not working, right?
Mm.
I know I work remote and then I do more than one things.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, oh my gosh, I want a break. I feel drained. I would love to feel energized. I'm not gonna go running at one a.m. Well, now it's 3 o'clock where I live. It's very hot. It's very hot. I'm not just gonna go outside and start running.
Yeah.
Um, but a lot of times, by the time I'm done with all of those meetings and just exerting that professional self and all of that, it's just like
Yeah.
you just want a pick me upper. Um, you're hungry and you feel, a little
Yeah.
bit
No,
wiki
no.
wiki, I
So
guess.
I
And then I
feel
just
you.
want
I
to
feel you.
refuel, like my brain, like I need.
Exactly. I I can see what you're
Feel
saying
like
because
I'm doing a lot more than I was.
yeah.
Obviously, if you're
Hmm.
employed versus unemployed, or employed doing three things versus employed doing one thing, and even if you're one thing, it depends on what is the nature of that one thing.
Yeah.
You have to be putting on a face to teach somebody and giving that high energy.
Yeah. You have to be perky or whatever it
Yeah,
is. You know.
you're meeting with people. You have to present yourself a certain way. I just feel like a lot more is I'm doing a lot more, and then when I get that one break, if I take a break and I'm just like, no, we need some food, we need some food. I just,
Yeah, but you know, no, you're saying that to me, and I'm thinking
but it
that's
could
that.
be an excuse, and I'm just telling
No,
you
no,
how
no,
I
but no, but
feel.
no, but
I'm
no,
not
but
a,
no.
you know,
I'm feeling what you're saying, and I think I agree. There are moments
we just done
when
by the
you're
time the
free.
meeting they're done. I'm
Exactly.
done. There's nothing left.
Exactly. It takes so much out of you. Because of course, you and I have spoken about this about how sometimes people don't give value to mental work for someone who sits in
No,
a
if you're
chair.
not mixing
Exactly.
cement
Exactly.
outside, you're not doing nothing.
They'll be like, yeah, you come home and you're like, I'm tired. They'll be like, bruh, when you have to read emails and then remember this task and then this task said this and then no, as a matter of fact, the most beautiful part is to have a to-do list in the morning. And the second you have the first meeting of the morning, the to-do list becomes like it just disappears into the abyss, and you just go on a whole different route, and then 2 days later them ask you about what was on the to-do list and you're like, yeah man, for the, you know what I mean? So it's like you play, and you can be the most organized person, it can still happen to you, you know. But
Yeah.
I feel like that additional stress or even mental capacity that's required then make us go to certain things. Like I've found it even for me, like working now, sometimes after maybe, I don't know, having a call that's probably, I don't know, 30 minutes, but it was like an active call and you have to be actively listening, actively replying. I feel for something sweet.
Honestly, I wish I had 30-minute calls. I wish I could get a 30-minute meeting. I would take that shit. I'd be having meeting for 3 hours, nigga. Like
Oh
I
yeah,
am just I
there,
don't
yeah,
what are we
yeah,
doing here at
yeah.
this point in time?
That's what I
I
mean.
don't I
After that, I'm going to like
I'm
KFC or
tapped
something. You
I'm
can't ask
tapped
me. You
out.
can't. Me not argue. Me not argue. Yeah, yeah. Talk to me for 3 hours. Yeah, me I have KFC, some junk food off going on my body because
I
the amount of energy I expend just sitting here and listening. Yeah, not the vibe.
I had for August. I traveled in August, did 4 weeks,
Yeah.
and I thought, okay, I'm gonna do the diet thing.
Mm-hmm.
In August, I had a meeting. Once this is just one project. This is not my entire one
Yeah.
project.
Yeah.
We would meet at um 10 a.m. every morning, and we end at 1.
10 a.m. and end at 1.
10,
So
yes,
3 hours.
3 hours, right? And remember, at 1, I have to say to them, it's not like it ends at 1. At 1, it's me putting up the raised hand to say, hey guys,
Oh, really?
I'm not trying to be that person
Yo,
again
hold
this
on, hold
week.
on, hold on.
I'm
You're
not trying
lying.
to be that.
You're
No, I
lying.
kid you not. I'm like,
You're lying to me.
I know I did this last week. I know I did this yesterday, but I'm hungry. I
Dude,
mean,
no, no. So one, they chose a very interesting time to do this activity based on what you're telling me. Like right in
and we
between.
were trying to decide on when to the time to do it in September, and the
Yeah.
girl gave the same time, and I said no. I'm like, you people don't eat. What? Why? Why do we need to do this?
No, but it's crazy. I prefer go. I don't know. I get the after lunch thing where it's like, well, everyone has their system. Some people like to work in the morning, and some people like to work later in the afternoon. But I think to choose that period of time for 3 hours straight is mental.
I think the thing is that for her, for two people on the meeting, they go and pick their kids up from school in their lunchtime. So school generally would end.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, there may be a little bit of noise. School
No
generally would
problem.
end around maybe after 2 or so.
Yeah.
That country that I'm meeting with, and this is a regional meeting, they're 1 hour ahead of the timeline I was at. So they're ending at 2, and then they go pick their kids up,
Uh,
right? So that's why
mm,
they pick that time. But the
I
truth
can
is
see
that
that.
we did that meeting, and because I I would actually have a class that I would teach at 1.
hmm
So sometimes I'd have to be like, I have to go because I would
I
say I want to
have
eat, but
something.
by the
Yeah,
time they
yeah,
have
yeah.
another engagement.
Yeah.
And then by the time I finish that class, it's 3 o'clock, and I'm just
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like,
there's nothing, Walter.
yeah.
I kid you
No,
not.
I feel you.
And
It's
my
definitely one of
trainer is
those
calling
things.
me and telling me that you haven't worked out yet, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah. No, that day, and that's what I mean. I sometimes I just feel like it's not conducive, or you have to be one of those people that commit like I don't know, like a Saturday or something to preparing everything. So every single
No, yeah, no,
you
you're
know what I mean?
yes, yes.
It's like one of those things, and I'm telling you, I get it. It looks beautiful sometimes doing meal prep and stuff like that,
Looks very nice, especially when
it's
photographed.
that exactly, but that's also tiring as hell.
I
I
have done it before, and I agree with you. And also, if you are like me and you do many things
Mhm.
on the Saturday, you would really want to go to the river. You just want
Exactly, that's the
to not
thing.
see a
Exactly.
computer screen. You don't want to be in a hot kitchen. You just want to
Yeah.
go somewhere in nature. I say river, but it could be high. It could be just anything in
No,
nature. You
yeah,
really
no,
don't
I
want to
feel
be
you. I feel you.
confined to your kitchen. And I like cooking, so I'm not. There's no knocking for anybody
Yeah,
who
yeah,
likes
no,
to
one,
cook, but
yeah, 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 yeah.
just saying.
I,
So I don't know. It's tough.
man,
I'm really trying to balance things. I'm really, really trying to balance things. But it is tough. It's possible. So I just need to. That's what I'm saying. I need I need to find what clicks because I know it's possible to find a way to make it
yeah.
work. But it's just how I would relish a half an hour meeting. I've not had a half an hour meeting since
I
my
have
latest
those. I have
employer.
those. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
To be honest, I rarely have 1 hour.
I would take 1 hour meetings too. No, today I had a 1 hour meeting. I was very impressed by that. But it's a
Mhm.
setup for another 3 hour meeting that we're gonna have. It was a meeting to
Ah,
discuss what we're going
fun.
to discuss in the 3 hour meeting and the
Yeah,
things we need
that's
to
fun.
prepare in preparation. So I'm just like, all right, cool.
Sounds perfect.
But
Um,
we were talking on
but
WhatsApp.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
We were talking on WhatsApp earlier. I was trying to find it on my phone, and
hmm
and you had said this would be a good podcast topic. I can't remember what the
Oh
thing was
shit.
though, but it
But
was literally today.
yeah, no, I'll listen back. But I
I
think it
tried
was
listening, but I couldn't
yeah,
multitask very
identify it.
well.
Yeah, no problem. This is hilarious. No,
But
that you
you did
said.
it. It's literally today. Like
No, I know we had it, and this is one of the reasons why we're like, yeah, we'll do a podcast, we'll do an episode today, and then like we
spoken not
lost it.
about that thing. Nope.
Yeah, maybe I don't know, but what I would say is that yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I did tell you a specific time. I don't want to be like those 3 hour people, and
Ah,
and I'm
yes.
seeing where it is now. So
45 minutes. Well,
exactly,
granted, I Yeah, I don't know when we started officially, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
What
But
was
no,
this topic though? Health, parenting.
I would say parenting, and we are not.
Parents. I don't. Why are we discussing this?
No,
Why?
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like we're
Wow.
wow, I'm thinking of a topic. I know parenting would have to be one part, but then we went into the fact that no one knows anything, or we research our bodies, or our bodies are ever-ending research. I don't know, but I'll figure that part out when the time comes.
Yeah, and I listen back to the voice note and make a note of what the
Yes,
topic
exactly, exactly. Please
was
do that,
supposed to be.
and then the next episode,
We'll
we
try and stick to the,
yeah, yeah. It's hard to do that, but yeah.
yeah.
All right, Coach. It was a pleasure to have you on, and
It's a pleasure to be here.
yeah, and hopefully, we get to go again soon. At least probably next week or something like that.
What time is it where you live?
It's now 10:20.
Wow. It's
Yeah,
3:20 here. Wow.
yeah. So it's 7 hour difference. There's sometimes I forget because sometimes it's a 6 hour.
Oh, okay.
hmm hmm But yeah, thank you. And
All right. Yeah, pick up the outsiders. We'll stay outside until the next time.
yo, that's good.
What?
That's good. You're hilarious. That's just the thing. You're hilarious. But yeah, thanks.
Yeah, cool. Um, talk soon. Oh,
Talk
stop
soon.
the recording.
Okay, okay. One sec.
Wow.